It's time for you to start dominating Ultimate Team, and in today's video, I'm going to give you 10 tips to hit the ground running. We're going to be covering a variety of different topics, but with each and every single one of them, by knowing them, you will be a better player. But before we do get into the video, we need to highlight today's sponsor, U4GM. U4GM offers cheap, fast and reliable EAFC coins so that you don't need to put the grind in like I do. You don't need to be there trading every single day, playing a number of matches. Instead, you simply head over to their site, select the platform you play on, how many coins you would like, and place your order. To make this deal even better, at checkout, you can also use Fanatic to get a 10% discount. So if you're interested, there is a link in the description down below. Thank you U4GM for sponsoring today's video. And now let's get back into it. There are some very simple things that can be done in order for you to be a top 1% player. It's crazy because once you do the basics, even though it is the basics that we're going through, it can really put you ahead. So starting off, we need to talk about your game settings. You need to change them. By default, every single year, it's set up to the default, but that's not necessarily the best. You should go through, decide what you want on, what you want off. If there's any extra settings that maybe you want to take advantage of, the choice really is up to you. One of the more important ones is your camera settings. You need it to be something that is comfortable to you. Myself, I like to be at an angle where I'm able to see the full pitch from top to bottom. That way, whenever I am in a tricky situation and it gets a bit overcrowded in one area, I can very easily switch the ball to my other wing on the other side and drive that ball forward into my opponent's box. So please just take 5-10 minutes out of your day just to go through your settings in order to make them the most comfortable to you. Number 2. Play as many game modes as possible, but at the same time, don't overplay them. It's better for you to go through division rivals, squad battles, champions playoffs, champions final, moments, friendlies, and also draft than it is for you just to stay in one game mode. If you just stay in one game mode, and let's say we're talking about division rivals as an example, there becomes a point where the rewards that you get are no longer worth it for the time that you're putting in. The rewards cap out at 3 wins and 7 wins, and the only way in which you can get better rewards is if you're promoted to the next division, but how many games that takes really depends on the division itself. So the best thing for you to do is to win 3, win 7, and as soon as you're done, as long as you have 1,250 qualification points to move to the Champions Playoff. You then want to try to qualify, in which you'll go to the Champions Finals, but if that time hasn't started yet for the weekend league, then that's when you go into squad battles, friendlies, draft, moments, and grind out those game modes. You'll be able to go and get a lot more rewards out of this by spreading your game time across the different game modes than just sticking to the one. Number 3. You should be trading in between matches. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. I'm not talking about you being a top 1% trader. All I'm saying is that there are some very basic trading methods out there. Use a simple bulk bidding filter, or maybe take in a sniping filter. It doesn't need to be crazy. Just get a few trades in between each game, and even though you're just taking a few minutes, you're going to be able to make so many more coins by doing this than actually playing any of the game modes itself. We've already got a few trading methods listed on this channel, and we will continue to do so for the rest of EAFC. Alongside this, it's also worth investing. Investing is different to trading. It's not the case of buying a player and immediately listing them onto the transfer market to make a profit. Instead, you are buying into a player and you're holding them for days, weeks, potentially even months. And gradually, as time goes on, they will increase. The best investments in which you can make is anything to do with SBC fodder, high rated players, or even some special cards. I really like buying into special cards on a weekly basis. Cards like Team of the Week. By the time it gets to Wednesday, before a new Team of the Week has released, I will go through and buy some of the cheaper players from the previous Team of the Week and just hold them for potentially months. And gradually they do increase. They increase every single year. Number 5. You should continuously be using the bronze pack method. Now, this can somewhat come under a trader method, but I've never classed that as that. This is a club builder. Bronze packs cost 750 coins, and even though you're not guaranteed to make profit from every single one, as time goes on, you more or less are. They are so cheap, you're able to get players from them. Some of those players sell For those that do sell, you're going to list onto the transfer market. For those who don't, you are going to send them to your club. Now, I said this is more of a club builder and a trading method. That is because with the players that you do send to your club, you are going to upgrade those bronze players to silver players to common gold players to rare gold players. Or potentially you can use some of those bronze players for some of the other SBCs, or silver players, common gold players, or rare gold players, whatever it is that you're building to. This becomes this intricate system where you're able to make profit as you sell players on the transfer market from those bronze packs. But the real big money maker is what you're able to get from the SBCs in terms of pack rewards and players. Now, they may not necessarily give you coins outright because they could be untradeable, but if you get a good player, which is statistically likely at some point this year, then that will save you from needing to have the coins to buy that player for your club. Number 6, you should always be looking to complete objectives. Now, there are some objectives which you will just naturally complete. Scoring a certain amount of goals, getting a certain amount of assists, playing a certain amount of games. But if you take the time every single day just to go through your objectives to see what's currently there, that's when you can take advantage of objective stacking. There will be loads of challenges which will cross over, in that maybe you need to score a certain amount of goals with French players, get a certain amount of assists with Spanish players, and maybe you need a few games played with Italian as well as English. Now you can build a team with all of those nationalities, and in a lot of cases it will give you the option to play within division rivals or squad battles. If you're a confident player, go into division rivals. If you're not so confident, go into squad battles and complete every single one of those objectives. Now with this, it should be completed in half the time than if you were to do these individually, and you're now going to be able to increase your overall amount of XP, coins, and packs for the games played. So check your objectives, see what's there, try to complete them, and you'll be able to go a lot further within game. Number 7, complete the guaranteed profit SBCs. Now, before you actually go and check, there isn't actually an official section within SBCs which says guaranteed profit. However, because of how EA have structured their SBCs, there are some which are much better to complete than others. Typically, those who do give an untradeable player, no matter who it is, needs to be someone who is questioned whether or not you're actually going to use them. Many people jump to go and complete these challenges, however, they end up wasting coins because they only play a few games with them. Whereas your upgrades of bronze, silver, gold, your marquee matchups, any type of 75, 78, 80, 81, 83, 85 plus SBCs, your foundation SBCs, and also your advanced SBCs. There are a lot of these which will give untradeable players, but going back to what was said earlier, just because they are untradeable doesn't mean you don't benefit from them. You will still be able to go and use them within game. It will save you from actually having to buy that player for your team. And if it is someone that's higher rated but not necessarily good within game, you could always go and throw them back into other SBCs. In terms of marquee matchups, even if you do not have the players, you need to buy every single one. As long as you're buying them at their lowest price, even if you get nothing good out the rewards themselves, you will still be able to quick sell them and make your coins back. In most cases, make a profit. And this is worst case scenario. And number 8, you need to be preparing for the major events. If you're not sure what the major events are, you could just type into Google EAFC calendar or Ultimate Team calendar. And there are loads of people who have put together calendars of events that are likely to happen throughout the year. Now, by knowing this, it makes it a lot easier to prepare. Now, I can tell you as a quick overview, there are times in which player prices as well as the market price will drop. We're talking Black Friday, especially if EA does lightning rounds. We're talking team of the year, as well as building up to team of the year, as well as also team of the season. These are the 3 major ones, so to speak. Now that I've told you what will happen and you know exactly when those events take place, you know that you could go and sell your team a few weeks, potentially even a month or so before that event. And if you really wish and really did enjoy the team that you was playing with, you can buy those exact same players back after the event for a fraction of the price. You could potentially be making hundreds of thousands, millions of coins without actually making hundreds of thousands or millions of coins. You're not trading that, but you're saving that whilst the market drops in value by that price. And number 9, you need to be competitive. I used to be someone who just wanted to go and play football. That was all I wanted to go and do. I would watch my favorite players in real life and then try to replicate some of the massive moments in football within FIFA, or in this case now EAFC. But unfortunately, Ultimate Team does not represent everything that happens in real life. It's not a one-to-one. It's a football simulation game, but at the same time, it's not really. It's just a football game. There are mechanics which are overpowered. There are things that just happen within game, things that are just programmed to happen. There's the right way to play this game and the wrong way. Make sure that you're using the most up-to-date custom tactics for the best formation that people are voted for within game. Within that formation, you want to make sure that you're using OP players, and with your playstyle, you want to be making sure that you're taking advantage of the OP mechanics. If you do this, you are going to win way more matches than if you didn't do this. So make sure that you're doing this. And finally, at number 10, make sure that you're joining up with various other communities. Here on this channel, we like to go through menu gameplay, share the latest tips, tutorials, and also sharing how to trade. But I'm not a top 100 player. I'm also not someone that's up to date on all the Ultimate Team leagues, but those communities are out there. There are top 100 players sharing you how to best approach gameplay in Ultimate Team, in which take your gameplay tips from them. And there are communities who get exclusive leaks to upcoming events, SBCs, promos, and just general content. So if you want to get key information before anyone else, make sure that you join those communities. And that way you'll always be on top, always be improving, and that's just going to gradually put you to a top 10%, top 1%, whatever it is that you want to be in terms of a player. If you enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend clicking the next video on screen. That video has been recommended by YouTube. They've tracked exactly what you enjoy watching, and they believe this video is perfect for you. So click that and I'll be over there to guide you through absolutely everything. I hope you enjoy.